Cheers, everybody. We are back for Bourbon on a Budget. On site today for a special edition of Bourbon on a Budget. We're trying Elmer T Lee, but not only regular Elmer T Lee. How about a 2014 Tommy Special?
Tommy Special.
The Candyman.
Barrel pick.
Yeah, barrel pick. So we're going to be trying a couple different options. It's not going to be directly us talking to you guys, but we're going to be more of just kind of shooting the shit like how we usually do. So hanging out. We got a couple guests today, and it's going to be a good time. So drinking some good stuff.
So actually we have Staves and Grains.
You got Eric from Staves and Grain here. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, you got Joel from Life of Luxe.
I've got it.
Yeah. And you're
Aaron.
it's part of the fun, part of the
I
fun.
love it.
So he's like weekend at Burmese. We just
Just poke my head in real quick. He's got sunglasses on. We're having to carry him around. It's great.
Yeah.
TJ off camera.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So let me see the regular one. So the only information I found about this was what you said. That during COVID we
cut the years back.
We cut years back and we don't tell
No.
anybody, you know, typical
Of course not.
typical Sazerac. So I read the same place that your buddy told you when you did that podcast on this. This was 5 to 7 years old.
Yeah.
Which I found like horrifying because it used to be, I think, 10 plus.
Yeah.
Is when it first came out. So I don't think before COVID this was 5 to 7. I think maybe it was 8 to 10 and then it went down to 6 to 8. And brings me to a perfect thing that I tried this year that didn't show up last year, which was Rock Hill Farms. The Rock Hill Farms I tried this year, I would bet any money on it that it's not 10 to 12 years old anymore.
Yeah.
Because when I tried it, I hated the bottle. It's the first time I've ever hated Rock Hill Farms. I'd imagine it's 6 to 8 right now. Which Rock Hill Farms at 10 to 12 was beautiful bourbon. Even at 8 to 10, it would be still nice. But I literally, you know, I did the dry July.
Yeah.
And then I come out of dry July, and the first thing I drank at home was this year's Rock Hill Farms. And I'm sitting there like, I'm so excited and everything. My future son-in-law's at home. He's never had Rock Hill Farms, and I tried it, and I absolutely hated it. It was 100 proof, but it literally tasted like it was 120 proof. It was all spice and wood, and all that sweetness wasn't even in there. So I wasn't a fan of it. I actually brought home 2 years ago Rock Hill Farms, and I tried it too, and you couldn't even believe the difference. Let me pass this down. This is regular. I hope it's not 5 to 7. I hope we were all wrong, and it was. And it's,
We'll be able to tell.
And I hope it's 6 to 8 is what I think it is. I'm hoping. And I'm gonna get that one. Now this pick right here, Joel's been a customer for us a long time.
Good job.
Boy, Joel.
We used to sell this retail for $29.95 when we first put our barrel.
Imagine.
Thanks, inflation.
This was 19. I think it was But it was $19 cost. So it was $19 cost. This is the new one. I haven't tried this one for some time. I've had the 13 many times recently because they seem to have been in the back of my warehouse downtown, and they somehow just ended up showing up. The 14 I haven't had in a long time. The last time I had the 14 was when my dad passed away. So
you said you picked this in 13, but they bottled
I picked the 12 and 12, and I bottled in 13. Back then they were really slow. Picked this in 13, and then they bottled this one in 14. So
Ben, what do you notice on the nose first?
Definitely
What's the big
older.
difference?
Definitely older. So like the unstore pick is like a very apple forward. Very apple.
Yeah, like a green apple.
Yeah. Like Woodville.
Yeah.
See that?
your buddy works for Woodville.
I love Woodville. Be cool.
Yeah.
I gotta let them half a bottle off the
Shane
house.
thank God Shane is not watching this.
You get a lot of apple.
A lot more deeper, rich caramel.
Yeah. The
on
14 pick, man. It's way caramel.
Because I try and get a cigar in my
It hasn't been open in a while.
It's just a part of
It's
me
been
now.
like-
It's just a part of me.
Let it breathe. Let it breathe.
Whatever I do, all my things I
born in the dark.
smoke
So it's
cigars.
fun.
This is true. This is true. This is true. It's from the teat.
Yeah.
Wow. It's crazy how different the regular Elmer T is nowadays.
Has anybody even drank it yet? I know you have.
I haven't drank that. I mean, he dove in 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Before you opened the bottle.
What were the years again? I didn't catch that.
2022 or 2021 and
Glass?
2014.
Okay.
I will in a second.
Now we have Nick here, Nick Battaglia from the Tampa Bay Bourbon Boys and Single Barrel Company.
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
How's it going?
This batch of, let me see what year this is. This one is, I don't have to look at the laser code. This is my barrel pick. This one is 2020. This is last year's. So it might be a little older because, lately everything's been so young.
Maybe it was bottled. Yeah, maybe it was started to be processed before COVID.
They definitely get way more though.
Oh, this is just,
Single barrel, we get a lot more oil. A lot more oil.
Yeah, a lot more depth. It's night and day difference.
Yeah, like the mouthfeel, the viscosity is on. Right, yeah, like it doesn't drink like a 90 proof. The other one drinks, boom,
this
it's
is
gone.
so much bigger.
Oh, yeah.
You tried it?
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's like
Thicker,
100%.
more
Oh, yeah.
viscosity.
Big mouthfeel, and I haven't had this one since my dad passed away. And when I went back up to New York after my dad passed away, I finished the rest of the bottle of this one.
How long was that?
My dad's been dead for 5 years now.
No.
Yeah, so that's the last time I drank that. And the bottle was like that. We had drank it with my dad before he passed away. Went up there, me and my brothers finished the rest of the bottle.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
Super
pretty
cool.
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 Actually made my brother Pat. My brother Mark wasn't there. He drinks Baileys and stuff like that. So.
He wasted the good stuff on him.
It's so thin.
It is, and that's why when we put this up against just regular old
Yeah.
plain of mail Buffalo Trace. This is Buffalo Trace. Like it's the same.
You blind
Buffalo Trace is
so close.
a little bit better. You
Well,
know,
if
like
it's-
if people trip over themselves to get this, and
Not a,
What are you saying?
just regular Elmer T Lee against Buffalo Trace, they're not.
What would the E statement on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you put regular Buffalo Trace against regular Elmer T Lee,
Well,
1/2 dozen. other.
Pretty soon.
They're not this year. Now you go back to 2014,
A little different.
but you put them together this year, same thing. No, neither one is remarkable.
Well, you got to start running into the thing that when you try Elmer and Buffalo Trace together, you're going to pick Elmer because Buffalo Trace is now 6
They're
to
gonna
8
lower
years
that.
old, and all
Right.
the stuff in the store is going to be
Right.
6 years, 3 months, 6 years, 2 months.
Right,
This is 5 to 7, which is benchmark 5 years old.
right.
Well, I hope that's not true. I hope it's 6 to 8. I hope that's not 5 to 7, but I read the same thing that your buddy read, and I couldn't find it anywhere else. And,
Yeah.
The question then is, how do we get more people to stop drinking whiskey so we can get back to how do we convince people
We'll get people on Bailey's.
Like,
Let's
yeah.
start pushing.
well,
Yeah, it's kind of the right time for that kind of.
Yeah.
You know, I actually can see this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh my God, this is so much better.
2022, that's the move.
When was your Life Great Girl proof?
I'm good right now. Thank you.
Well, that's a great barrel proof.
The one that Elliot gave us.
Oh, that's a 2015.
Never
Remember we
seen
brought
this
that
again.
in.
I know.
Remember talking? We brought the 2015. We brought the 2015 Elijah Craig in for you to try.
Yeah.
And it blows away like a new barrel proof.
Yeah.
So
It just is what it is. You know, and nothing. You know, I hate to sound like the old man pointing to the cloud, but they
Well,
just
here's-
don't make it like they used to. You know, like.
Well,
But
here's-
that's true.
Here's why. 2015, you still had Parker Beam, who was still alive.
Well, they believed in quality
This
and
is
not.
Gregor, who to me, I love Denny Potter, was there. Denny Potter since he's left. I don't like the direction of Heaven Hill. Personally, I don't. And Denny Potter's with Maker's Mark now, but I think Denny Potter will leave at Maker's Mark. He's getting bored. And he could have stayed at Heaven Hill forever if they just didn't make him travel. He's a family man, and you're a Kentucky boy and all that. He could say the same thing from Drew from Willett. If Drew was on the road for like 220 days of the year, Drew would say, I'm not working for you anymore because I want to be home with my family. And that's the problem with Denny Potter. Denny Potter was on the road all the time, and he literally just left the family-owned business, which is Heaven Hill, and left. If your family business can't be the face of Heaven Hill, you know, Parker Beam dying was probably one of the saddest days of what happened to bourbon, just like when Elmer T passed away, and when Jimmy Rutledge dies. Jimmy Rutledge is, to me,
Legends.
dude, he's an amazing blender. I mean,
Right.
you can't blend any better than Jimmy Rutledge. I mean, he's just, you know, people talk about Dave Pickerel. Dave Pickerel was good, but he was the master of taking other barrels and doing
Well, it's
stuff
like those guys
barrels
like
raised.
those guys like set the standard,
Yeah.
right? Like, and so like everybody else just tries to imitate what that's like. It's like with Kobe. Like Kobe tried to do what Michael did, right? Like Michael was the measuring stick, so like he could never measure up. And so it's the same thing in this, right? Like those guys set the standard of it. And so like how could anybody ever beat the standard, you know?
The thing about it is I put what Buffalo Trace is. I love Buffalo Trace, what they do with the experimental warehouse. They've been doing wine cast finish back in the experimental's been around since 2003.
Wow.
You know, they've been doing all that extra stave, toasted. But it was all from Buffalo Trace, which was at the time was Elmer. You know, Elmer to me is amazing, and so is Parker Beam, and so is Jimmy Rutledge. I mean, they mean anything more to me than anything from Maker's Mark Jim Beam. Those three guys I just mentioned, to me, are amazing what they do. And Rutledge's blending skills are just second to none. I mean, he's like the Heidi Barrett of Screaming Eagle. I mean, just, I don't want to put my name on it. That's literally why he's gone for Four Roses. He literally did not want to make a limited edition that nothing was blending right that year, and they didn't do it. You know, Heidi Barrett said that with the wine in 2020. She literally said, nobody made me make wine this year. They did. I did not make this wine. She made everybody know that. You know, I respect that. Jimmy was gone after that. I love Brett Elliott, but you know, 2012 and 2013, Bourbon of the Year, Small Batch Limited Edition. There was no better Small Batch Limited Edition ever than 2012 and 13. They're amazing. One thing.
Can't even find them now.
Yeah, the High Plains Rye he's in, six different states of rye, 6-year-olds. People don't even realize what that is. It was amazing. It was like $59.95 to $64.95 retail, and you couldn't beat it. The High Plains Rye by Jimmy Rutledge, which was amazing. You ready? You already working it? So,
Are there any younger guys or smaller?
oh, we stay
distillers that are like, hey,
small distillers. I like what the National Barrel Company guys are doing. I love what Pablo's doing.
Some good ones of those.
Yeah.
Some of their picks are great, man.
We went to a Whiskey Society blind bottle share. Everyone brings their own bottle. You gotta disguise it
Is
as
that,
best you can.
On
It was
Swan?
an On Swan.
The best bottle there was a.
Best bottle there was a natural bottle.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was great.
Really, really good.
What was it?
It was
Was it the? It's like Miami Bourbon Society or something. I don't know. Some bourbon society like had done
it.
it.
Was their white wax one. It was
great. I think Dolly Parton was on the side of it.
I'm sure.
Was that it?
Dolly Parton.
I think she was. You know, the groups always put the crazy pics on it.
Yeah. But are they making anything, or is it just all
Yeah, just source stuff right
just
now.
source stuff? So,
Yeah.
you know, the thing is, you know, like when Troy Zola was doing the same thing with Jefferson's, using all that Willett and all that sits on Weller barrels, and now with their, you know, Bernard Ricard's bought them, and Jefferson's is a shell of what it used to be.
Yes.
So this is very small batches. Was the number one SKU. The Ocean still is good, but they did get a little nail that one. You see what they did with Jefferson's Ocean one time? They literally put the barrels on the boat and they left it tied up, and it was just. It was on the boat.
It was just the tie.
It wasn't.
taking
It wasn't out for sure.
Yeah,
Avoid
it
it.
was on the boat.
They've since not done that again, but
It's cheating.
well, yeah, it's one way cheating. Oh yeah, there's
There's
yeah.
I'm excited about these guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
I did one too, which you guys will do a podcast with when it finally arrives.
Should be here next week.
Next week, finally.
Yeah, they got bottled and labeled last week.
Good team. That's Live Dip too, so you know.
So go, Joel, give us a rundown of what
we got here?
what this looks like.
Yeah, so this is Pablo and Pete. I'm sure there's always the quiet investors as well.
Pete
but,
Johnson.
Pete Johnson, he actually had an opportunity to invest in another company that was pretty popular. I wonder now if he wishes he did, but you know, Pete's a monster when he's doing cigars. He does some crazy stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone else got one cigar, but of course Tommy gets 10.
He also did a Tatuaje in a Willow barrel.
Hey,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun project too. I finally smoked my last one that he gave me last year.
So I had a friend that actually went to Pablo's restaurant and said it was like, if you're ever in California, you got to go to Pablo's restaurant.
Yeah, so Pablo,
Where's he at?
he's out in
Southern?
Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but what he's doing now, so he has a really cool speakeasy called Old Lightning in the back of Scopa. So So Scopa is a Italian restaurant. It takes a couple weeks to get in. You can't just like, hey, I want to eat here tonight, which was sad. But thankfully, I knew Pablo, and so I'd be that guy. Hey, is there a way you can get
Always.
6 people in 2 hours? He's like, he said,
Cuss you out and then do it. Yeah.
He said, I never said no to you. It's like that industry never said no, but sometimes like I can do it. Just might not be the best table, but so
Let's have some more if you want.
he's got one of the craziest bars in the country called Scopa. So if you want to go and have a nice glass of Red Hook Rye, hey, there you go. Yeah,
Red Hook Rye is $25,000 to $35,000 a bottle.
Yeah,
It
the
was
low
made for Red Hook. It's in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah,
It's in Brooklyn, Red Hook. He gave me a sample of it. I don't know where he got it from. It was amazing. It was a Willet.
Blow your mind stuff.
Yeah, there's 4 of them. The whole vertical was for 150 grand. Seth was a 4 or 5 or whatever it was.
Yeah, the batch one's going for about 50 to
Yeah, now it's going for
80,000.
more. Yeah.
And the other batches, 2 to 4,
Yeah.
about 30, 40K for the batch.
Like we were saying,
$80 bottle.
we need less people to drink
Yeah.
because I can't buy that.
Yeah, all this stuff that we're hyping sucks.
Stop
Like,
drinking
don't buy
Stop
any of
that.
it. It's terrible.
So these guys do. They do a single. So
It's funny because it's true.
So Nick does a single barrel company cigar. So he takes the cigars after they're rolled and they put them in bourbon barrels.
Ah.
And they put them for X amount of time. They put them in glass with the chars in it too.
We were having that
Yeah,
night up here
yeah,
for the
yeah.
event. Yeah.
So they've been having a lot of success. They're in Kentucky now too,
Yeah.
and a bunch of places too. So Tampa Bay Bourbon Boys, like when you guys bourbon on the budget, I like
We're-
a lot.
So yeah, tell them we're going to. Where can we find it? We're going to Kentucky in a couple
yeah.
of weeks.
So
So
we're
we'll
going to
get to
Louisville.
this, but yeah, we're going to Louisville in a
3
couple of
weeks.
weeks.
4 weeks.
We're in Peerless. We
Okay.
were in Thoroughbred Society. Louisville Thoroughbred
You got to get
Society.
invited there.
So here's a question. What's
And
going
then the
on?
liquor store, right?
We're working on that.
The liquor store is connected to.
Get there in a month.
Yeah.
You get there in a month.
What's the liquor store?
30 days.
Liquor Barn.
Liquor Barn.
Okay,
so
so-
Liquor Barn is connected to Thoroughbred Club because Liquor Barn sells the cigars to Thoroughbred Club,
Ah,
which is
nice,
a private,
nice.
yeah.
We'll talk to you guys a little off camera, but
Yeah.
we're going up there for the first time up in September. So
September, yeah.
I need some
Yeah.
insights.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What to hit, what not
Yeah.
to. No, let's do this real quick.
Yeah, hit it or
Let's
quit
go
it.
around. Let's go around the table. If there's one distillery that you have to hit, like if you can only hit one, will it?
Yes, yes.
Will it? All right. Well, you guys are out.
Okay,
What's yours?
you could be biased.
What's yours?
I'd say Makers does a really good tour.
Makers.
I think Makers does a good tour.
Here's the
Okay.
thing about Makers. Makers is the most beautiful,
Absolutely.
absolute, the most breathtaking property you ever see, and it is.
It's only 10 minutes from Willet.
Yes.
That's why. That's your selling point.
So you pass Heaven Hill on the right, and then you go to Willett, and then you go to Makers Market at the end of the road. But Makers and Jim Beam, what they just did to Jim Beam on the way there, what they just reopened it and what they revamped Jim Beam at is gorgeous. That Centauri money, it's beautiful what they've done. But treating you like a mom, like a home, like you're like at home or something, Willett.
Yeah.
But the tour at Bakers is unbelievable.
Yeah.
When people talk about Woodford, it's a great tour and all that too. If you've been to Bakers in Woodford, Woodford's nice. But when you just stand there and look down, like Bakers is just breathtaking. It's gorgeous. And then
All the
tours
buildings are the same color.
Yeah.
The roofs are
Yes.
red. Like
Do they
it's
do
just
any?
kinda
Do
hidden
they
out
do
of
any of the?
nowhere, like-
Do they do any of the? You know, Makers is obviously killing it with the Stave stuff right now. Do they do any of the Stave stuff on the tour, or is that one
That's
of
the
their tours?
cave. You could go on the,
Yeah.
you could see the cave. That's all
Yeah.
done in the cave.
The Stave
and
stuff
it used
is
to be
cool.
cool before COVID because you used to go over the cool and they pull out the when it's at beer, when it's at the beer stage.
Right.
It's piping cold and you all drink out of the same thing.
Yeah.
Can't do that anymore because of COVID.
I'll risk it. I'll risk it. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, but they don't want to get sued.
Right,
So they
right,
don't.
right.
But it's a great tour. Old Forester downtown, beautiful tour, great tour, amazing. Doc Crow's next door, and Doc Crow's Bourbon Bar now too. It's all connected. Peerless is amazing because Peerless has. I like Peerless because it's an old tobacco barn.
Oh yeah.
So when I go in there, it's like Jeff's like, this reminds you of JC. This is tobacco barn, and then it goes quirky. Matter of fact, this used to be a tobacco barn. But there's a lot of cool places. When you go to E.H. Taylor, it's the old the Newcastle Cape. It's the old national brands, the old E.H. Taylor Castle.
But
Beautiful
this
property.
barrel was aged there.
Yeah, this was aged there.
Yeah.
Is
So these are aged there.
So not to crap on them. I'm not trying to get you to say anything about it. Is the Buffalo Trace tour overrated? Does everyone go there?
Here's the problem.
I'm not trying to get you to. I'm not trying to lose your money here.
I've never been to the Buffalo Trace tour. I've never been to it.
They're all different.
I literally have been there so many times. I've never been on the Buffalo Trace tour because I pick on my Buffalo Trace barrels, sir, because I can't get my opinion on Buffalo Trace. I know if you get Freddie John, Freddie.
Oh, well, it's
Freddie,
amazing. It's
awesome.
the best thing ever.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So if you're with Freddie, you're gonna have the best tour ever.
Yeah.
And then if you get there's another guy, he's an old man. If you get him, and you walk through and something's leaking, it's experimental. He'll tap into it, let you try it. So there's some cool things that happen at Buffalo Trace.
But it's hit or miss.
I've just never been there.
Yeah.
I just pick on my barrels here.
different ones you can do. There's not just
It's not one tour. There's 7 tours that you can sign up for
My
there.
thing with the distillery tours, a lot of them are video. So you're actually watching a video, which I personally don't like. I don't want to.
No, I want to walk it.
Yeah, I want to.
Personally, I think everyone would hate that.
So it's
Yeah, I can do that from Tampa.
Like, you do a little bit of a walk. You do a little bit of a walk, but you first sit down. Here's the headphones, and so for me personally, I want to experience it. Take me through the process, A to Z, and let me try your product at the end. So a lot of the big boys are doing that, which I'm disappointed in. But
I get it.
I've had plenty
COVID
of
and
video
stuff.
interviews. You know, I don't want to do a Microsoft Teams tour.
Zoom me in. Here's the meeting
Zoom us
passcode.
in. Walk around. Sweat a little bit.
So I'm gonna try this because I started
Yeah.
open my bottle of this. So these barrels all were when you were talking about the other night with Castle and Key,
Yeah.
the girl. The true story about Castle and Key was everything that was laid down in Castle and Key with Marianne was Jimmy. So everything with Castle and Key was Jimmy Rutledge. So Jimmy Rutledge was their consultant. He was the one that was hands-on doing everything with them. So when the stuff gets older, I'm going to be really excited about it because Jimmy Rutledge's hands were in it, and he was trying to coach Marianne to a certain way, and Marianne left for personal reasons. It's kind of Elizabeth from Brown Foreman. Everybody's like sad that she got Brown Foreman with Old Forester. I'm glad for her, but I just wish Brown Foreman would stop heating the barrels and doing what they're doing with the Old Forester.
It's kind of like the fake season stuff.
Well, they're trying to rapidly age. You know, everybody got an Ozzy Tyler, which is not Green River, for rapidly aging their bear bourbon, but Brown Foreman's doing with heating their warehouses.
Right.
So, the nose on this is. So these were made somewhere else, and they're all MGP, right? And they were aged the whole time in Kentucky at Castle and Key.
Yeah.
So a lot of you guys have tried this when it was younger, which was the Pinhook stuff. It was all Pinhook.
Oh, okay.
Pinhook has nothing to do with Castle and Key.
But it's the same juice.
No, they just bought barrels.
Okay.
That's get better. That always gets better with air.
Oh yeah.
So that's my rare character I just did with Candyman on it, Joel's on it, and Pablo's on the cover. So
It's like vanilla ice cream.
it's such a great bottle.
That's crazy too. It's like they do some amazing things, and the stuff that they're playing around with, no one else is doing it. So that's why I'm really excited about Pablo. He's from Colombia, and so just with having that Latin vibe to him, he's messing with different folk from all around the world. So he's even messing with like Brazilian oak.
Dude, the Brazilian one, his Brazilian was the best representation, better than Old Elk and better than whoever else did. There was somebody else that did it too. I was sitting there, it's cinnamon. It's like, I'm sitting there like, wow, that's like, his was, yeah.
It's like apple cinnamon.
It was, and Whistle Pig did one in that barrel, the finish one, the Boss Hogs.
Yeah, so he's just doing some crazy
this is a
stuff,
great bottle.
and there's no secrets about him. It's like whatever he's doing, he tells you what he's doing on the back. He'll tell you, where it was distilled and where it's been aging and what the mash bill is and the age. So that's one thing I love about Pablo and what they're doing.
Let me go I have to go downstairs for the player development guy from the Yankees.
That's fine. We'll wrap up here. Like we say often, guys, bourbon is all about stories. And times like this is where you kind of really appreciate it. So, tune in next time. Bourbon on a Budget. Follow us on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube.
You said Spotify
Twitter.
like 4 times.
OnlyFans. Patreon. Whatever you got. We're there.
Which ones are on the budget?
Cheers. None of these. This blue bottle. Blue bottle's on the budget. Cheers, guys. Thank you for hanging out.
we always offer a barrel proof, barrel strength first, and then we'll tailor it based on what you care for afterwards. So we started the company 2 years ago. There's 4 of us. We all have full-time jobs, and we do this, as our hobby, as our business, and then as our passion, right? And so the reason we started is we couldn't get the barrel quantity we want. We couldn't get it at barrel proof, and I'm sure you're kind of seeing the problems now too, right? And so we had a bottler / distillery in New Jersey, outside of Newark and Fairfield, and so they distilled sorghum whiskey. And so we approached them and asked them if we could create a brand and if we could then, source what we wanted to and control the whole brand from that point. So they obliged. And so we've been sourcing product from around the country, bringing in stuff that we would like to drink, and then offering it how we would want to drink it, again at the barrel strength.
This is MGP, right?
This is MGP.
These are MGPs.
Yep.
Okay. So you just don't source from MGP.
Sorry, what was it?
You source from other places too, right?
It's been MGP mostly, but we look at other stuff. We've done some sorghum projects. So the distillery has its sorghum whiskey, so we've taken their barrels, and some of those experimentals I've had you try before. We've taken their empty sorghum barrel, we've put some other thing in it, like some Armagnac or Cognac, and we've let it sit in the barrel for about 6 to 8 weeks, let it soak into that barrel, and then we put rye whiskey back into it, and then we've let that sit. So those are some of the finishes that we brought to you. We're on our second barrel of the Laird's Apple Brandy, so we get a Laird's Apple Brandy barrel, and then we fill that with rye whiskey. So we're doing our second one of that one, and then we've been doing some beer projects. So other half just took a barrel from us. We had a stout aged in one of our barrels for 1.5 years. Just finished that, and so we're waiting for that to get bottled. So nice imperial stout.
This one is 9-year-old.
So this is one of our older ones. I just brought it because it was the one I had open or not open, just to show you.
Was for wine and whiskey.
This is the one store in New Jersey.
Right. Okay.
We run through mainly. But yeah, we mostly just sell to private groups, private clubs. We're not necessarily looking to have a shelf product out there. Everything's basically tailored or made to order. So.
James?
It's 4.
This is James
3. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's 4 of us. Yeah, we all have full-time jobs, and this is our side hobby / business and adventure that we decided to go on. So we've been doing it for about 2 years. So right as COVID hit.
Yeah.
The best time.
Yes, right.
It was a good time.
Yeah, no, it was funny.
The best of time.
We pitched it, mulled it over, worked through it, and then I started a master's program in California. In the first quarter, I didn't move from California, so pretty much shortly thereafter, I moved out, on the West Coast. So it's been interesting. So I haven't been back to Jersey. I mean, other than visiting a little bit, but the 3 are there, kind of running the warehouse and the inventory, and then I run the social media and talk to the groups, and then wanted to get in with Tampa since Tampa's really big. California, well, the groups themselves weren't. There's some, but it's much smaller.
It's different. Yeah, it's gonna be different.
And the area I was at too wasn't very big. I was in Monterey, so Monterey is mostly wine. Not so much whiskey.
This goes with the heat down south. The heat one.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say that number 2. It reminds me of double rye. Double rye jacked up.
Oh, that was finished.
That's exactly. It finishes just like double rye to me. Which I like how it does.
We can get some more of those.
I would think 1 and 3 were. You know these, right? Which ones they are?
Yeah, I can look them up on the sheet.
Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if 1 and 3 are the same age ones.
Check.
3 feels like it has the most punch to me.
So 1's got a lot of punch too,
Yeah.
but it's got a more balanced punch. Number 1.
3, I get the Flintstone vitamin.
Yeah.
I get that.
You get that with some rye though. Four's the one I like the best.
Yeah, 4's like hits the sweet. And
That's why I said I think these two might be the same age, and these might be the same two age, because they drink.
Yeah, I'm looking it up really quick.
This is the one I think is.
Yeah, I like 2 and 4 and 4s.
Try it's definitely try.
Four's delicious.
Remember they're all before.
Yeah, 2.
4's
I like, but it just tastes like double. It tastes like high West
4
double.
being this one.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I thought I had 2 of them. Those punch on
Did
there.
you put those? Which way did you put these back?
Yeah, 1 is on the left.
Okay, all right.
Wait.
No, they are.
Joe's picture.
Okay, we got it.
I'm sure.
All right.
Joe took a picture.
4 is.
We had one job to do. That was it, man. That was it.
Is that 116.3?
One sip, not
Yeah,
even
we
a sip.
took the highest for 4.
Yeah, 2 and 4 are distinctly different.
I know, but they're not like when you get the spice from these.
I get a lot of spice.
You get the sweet and the spice. I think.
I wouldn't even guess that was the
4 you
highest.
get both.
This one is
The last one.
4's the highest proof.
no, 4's the highest proof. Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
That's
I figured 2 or 3 had a high proof.
3 drinks the hottest.
It does. It drinks
It's
like.
not much off. I don't think 3. Yeah, it's a little bit off 59.6. They're almost.
They're not.
much
Yeah.
different.
It just drinks hotter.
It just retained more of the spice from the wood.
That 2 though. That 2
Makes
is.
all the sense in the world now because James.
Then you think 2
Right.
finishes? 2 finishes are like.
Yeah, so we can open it, but this is just I just wanted to show you guys what a bottle would look completely. So your logo and how we have it split, and then handwritten information.
How many logos? Can you fit 2 logos on it?
We could fit 2, but we don't want to do 2 separate, right? So we'd want to fit both on at the same time. I wouldn't want to do like half the bottles Life of Luxe.
Oh,
and half the bottles
no.
Corona, right?
It'll be Life of Luxe Corona Cigar.
Yeah, we should be able to fit.
Joe's not paying the money for barrels, so it don't matter. Did you see 4 again? That one?
I think 4 is
This was.
my favorite.
It was. I'm surprised. I'm surprised with you.
I know. You think you go for?
I know you like one.
I like spice.
One's good.
I know you like
Give me
one.
the spice bomb.
You're gonna love the old Forester whiskey cake pick. It's all
Oh,
you.
Oh, that's
baby.
what he got. That's what he got down
I
there.
just tried it. We were down.
Yeah, it's totally not my profile. I made sure everybody knew that. I can't even
Yeah.
pick that.
One's good though. One, I like it. Got like a black tea.
Yeah, of course. That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, they're sending me the information. I didn't.
I'm just curious.
I thought about taking a picture of it, and then I was like, I forgot in my rush. And
It's not, but it's like one is good. I know they're
Maybe
different,
like, I would take 1
Yeah.
and 4.
but the notes of spice that I get off 2 and 3,
Yeah.
One of them.
I get more sweetness off 2 and 4. Where that's kind of like where, since they're the same age, they kind of were made the same day probably. Since
yeah,
they're the exact same
yeah,
age.
same day.
So I would say, I would think these two were made the same day, and these two were made the same day. Even though they taste differently,
Yeah, no,
this is like, these are like spice.
Okay.
Where you're getting more sweetness than these two. If I'm, I mean, if that, I mean, it doesn't mean I'm right, but so, all right, that one's done now. Now we can do that right there. Let me call up. Oh my God.
So 4 and these 2. So 4 and 3 are the same.
Wow, I was wrong. Never guessed that.
These are the February 13, 2015.
Errol comes in, but I mean, there's always times he can pick you something up when he's here when I get something brand new.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
that guy went for so and so, and I'll say, I'll say yeah.
He's making the rounds.
So I made a
You're good,
6 o'clock
you're good.
appointment for dinner.
So you're in.
I had 2 $1 gift cards.
Hey, I'm on the beach. Just outside field.
She gives them to me.
Nice. Well, good.
I hope your Eagles fan.
Huh? Eagle? Definitely.
Me too.
You said Jersey, right?
Well, so I'm originally
Southern
from
enough.
Lancaster, PA.
Lancaster. Wait, I said.